Okay, so we move to Game 3 of the tournament. This is my Bretonnians against a Warrior of Chaos army. And it's day 3 of the second day of tournament. So this is my 6th game in 2 days. And by far the most beautiful game that I've seen. I mean, with the armies being painted. The guy I'm playing, his army actually won the award for Best Painted for the tournament. So, and it's just a really, really good-looking Warrior of Chaos army. So on his far right, he's got a unit of doggies. He has a Nurgle Sorcerer, level 1, level 2, I'm not sure. Some Fast Cav, 2 units of Chaos Knights, both frenzied. He's got the Hell Cannon, War Altar behind it. To the left of that house, he's got a unit of Forsaken and a unit of Warriors. They both have the mark of Khorne, so they're both frenzied. In the Forsaken unit on the far right, there's a mounted character who I'm assuming is the BSB, and I'm worried that he has the Rapturous standard, which makes them very, very difficult to break in combat. And on the front row left is his general, who I believe is a level 3 sorcerer. And then the Chaos unit on the front left, there's a little character that's another sorcerer. Then he's got some more dogs and some more Fast Cav. So to deal with it, for the most part, I want to delay his infantry and try to deal with the other things he has on the board, and then decide whether or not it's worth it to me to go after his infantry. Chaos Knights are tough, but at least I should win or lose, not get bogged down forever with them. So got my Grail Knights, the Damsel on the far right, Pegasus Knights, all 3 blocks of Knights, and you'll notice I'm pretty much in front of his Chaos Knights, but I'm well away from his infantry, which are on the other side of that house. Anyway, there's my Trebuchet, put my Lord in front of his Hell Cannon, my Bowman. Fast Cav and my men-at-arms are over here. Their job is to keep his infantry tied up. I'd like to keep them on this side of the board, and if they never get to combat, I'm okay with that, as long as I can deal with everything else on the board. And then obviously I have more Pegasus Knights over here. I don't know how to deal with the Hell Cannon except for my Lord, who has Killing Blow on large targets. Other than that, that thing just scares me. I don't want to get in combat with it. So his turn 1, he moves up, as you can see. He was very precise in his movements here. I know that his knights are exactly 17 inches away from my guys, which is nice to know. It actually makes my Trebuchet guess a lot easier. And then he moves up over here, but you notice his Fast Cav don't move up. He's keeping them in reserve, and he's keeping his dogs kind of protecting his flank. He focuses his magic on my Fast Cav unit, but because I have knights nearby, I pass my panic test, and we go to turn 1. So I charge his dogs, they flee, and I'm going to be set up for a counter charge with his Fast Cav. And then, yeah, I move up a little bit, but if he doesn't move backward, I'll be able to get the charge next turn. He shouldn't be able to charge me. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I move my Lord up so I know that next turn I get a charge on his Hell Cannon, and I should be just out of reach of his Knights because of the wheel that it would take them to reach me. And Men-at-Arms is on the far left. They're coming over to this side of the table to keep his guys busy. Put my Fast Cav up there just within charge reach. Now they're both going to have to charge me. I'll flee and they'll have a failed charge. That's going to slow him down a little bit, which I like. And I move my Pegasus Knights up to his flank, inviting his dogs to charge me because I'm really just not worried about them. I would love for them to charge me. And then I take my Trebuchet and just annihilate that one unit. I hit it and got 1 full and 2 partials. They all wounded, and that was a great stroke of luck. Very, very happy with that Trebuchet. I don't know how much Chaos Knights cost, but my guess is it won its points back right there. So on his turn, he charges his Fast Cav into my Pegasus Knights, and this was a real lesson for me. I'm going to show you 2 pictures here. The one on the left is the picture before movement, and the one on the right is after movement. So what he did was he came straight ahead and nicked my unit, and then I lined up to him. And I trust the guy; he knows the rules better than I do, so I'm sure that's how it's supposed to be. But I had never seen skirmishers able to whip around like that. I mean, it essentially moved my guys, 8 inches, which or moved my farthest guy 8 inches. If you moved him the nearest guy first, it would, still 4 or 5 inches anyway. So really surprised me. Yeah, I'll have to use that sometime. Anyway, so he brings his knights up more, and he put them right in reach. He's in reach of all my units. Now remember, that unit causes terror, and I'd forgotten about that. Now the mistake I made with killing that unit with my trebuchet, the other unit of knights, is that now they didn't have very much to wheel, and so they were within easy charge reach of my general. So that was kind of a mistake. I really should have targeted the other unit. I didn't think I'd get so lucky with that shot. So my fast cav fled, and he had a failed charge, and he charged his dogs into my Pegasus Knights on the upper left. I think I got incredibly lucky here. He charged in with those guys and didn't do a single wound, and I killed 2 in return. So that was unfortunate. His dogs that had fled my Pegasus Knights failed their rally test, and so they're off the board. Yeah, he came into attack. He said that he was going to take his guys against my Lord and his horses against my Pegasus Knight, or my Royal Pegasus, and did 2 wounds on each. And so my Lord's barely clinging to life, easily got beat in combat. And if I rally on my turn and he charges me again, I'm in deep trouble. And his dogs charged me, and again, didn't do a single wound. I don't know if I killed any back, but it doesn't matter. I'm good with that. So Brett turn 2. Locked in combat with Pegasus Knights. I'm very confident with how that's going to go now that he isn't charging. And this is, I believe, one of my favorite occurrences in any game ever. That picture is just beautiful. This is an indication of how much I fear Chaos Knights. In hindsight, I would have done it differently, because the third block of Knights really doesn't give me any more attacks. It gives me precisely 2 more attacks because there's an extra champion that can be in there, but the outer 3 on both those side units don't get to attack, so it still looks good. Looks good enough, I think I'll give a blow up of it. And he causes terror, so my Knights of the Errant are okay, but that Knights of the Realm I shouldn't have charged in there. So over here my Lord rallies. I move my men-at-arms as far over as possible. I want him to have to charge me, and I want it to be on this side of the board. So for the second game in a row, my skirmishing bowmen just really saved the day. They shoot at that guy, and they hit him enough that one wound goes through his armor and gets the wound. So now my general is not going to get charged by that knight, and therefore is going to live, probably. Over here, the Pegasus Knights make quick work of the fast cav, and with all those knights attacking, I went unit by unit. I did the far unit first, and then the middle, then the left. And I always did human attacks first and then horse attacks. And on the far left unit, when I did the horse attacks, I finally got the last wound on the last Chaos Knight. Chaos Knights are tough. So there's another look at the board. I am set up for a flank charge. Pegasus Knights easily beat the dogs over here. And that's the end of Brett turn 2. And at this point of the game, I'm thinking, I've got the game. The only concern I have is I don't know enough about that War Altar to know how much I should fear it. I don't want to charge the Hell Cannon, because I think it's unbreakable. I mean, it's so hard to wound. I'm really worried that it's not going to do me any good to charge it. He's got some fast cav over there that I'd like to take out. So really the decision I have to make is, what risks do I want to take? I'm slightly ahead in points now. How do I want to handle his infantry? So then we move on to the next turn.